Have you ever wondered why some people's lives seem to require so much less effort than others? I don't think it's because they have easier lives. I think it's because they reduce unnecessary complexity. I realize that a lot of life isn't difficult because of the big problems. It's difficult because of the thousands of tiny decisions we make every day. What should I wear? What should I eat? What should I work on? What should I buy? What should I do after work? None of these decisions are overwhelming by themselves, but together they quietly consume your attention. So over the past few years, I've started asking a different question. What decisions don't actually need to exist? That question changed the way I organize my life. My wardrobe became simpler, my routines became more consistent, the things I started to buy started fitting together, my hobbies became intentional, my project came clearer. Instead of reinventing my life every morning, I built systems that could make those decisions for me. And something interesting happened. Life became quieter. Not because I had fewer responsibilities, but because I had fewer unnecessary choices. I think people often confuse novelty with freedom, but I found that real freedom often comes from consistency. When you already know what you enjoy, when you already know what drains you, when you already know how your brain works, you stop negotiating with yourself all day. You stop trying to become a different person every morning. You simply build a life around the person you already are. I think that's why self-awareness is so important. Most people think knowing yourself is about discovering your personality. I think it's much more practical than that. Knowing yourself lets you design your life. If you know you hate clutter, you organize your environment differently. If you know you hate loud places, you stop pretending they don't. If you know your attention works best with structure, you stop relying on motivation and start relying on systems. The deeper you understand yourself, the fewer unnecessary decisions you have to make. Eventually, your environment begins supporting you instead of constantly competing for your attention. I realize that this is what coherence means to me, not doing the same thing because life is boring, but intentionally designing your life so that everything quietly works together. Your routines, your environment, your projects, your habits, your schedule, your relationships. Instead of creating friction, they create stability. And the interesting part is that none of this starts with organizing your closet. It starts with understanding yourself deeply enough to know what actually belongs in your life. Because once you know yourself, you stop designing your life around who you think you should be, and you start designing it around who you actually are. Maybe that's why reducing complexity has made my life so much easier. Not because life became simpler, but because my systems became better. So my question to you is, how many of the decisions you make every day actually need to be decisions, and how many could be a part of a system instead? Thanks for watching.